was trying to tell my mother about the anxiety I was feeling regarding my upcoming surgery when she interrupted me to complain about the slow service at the restaurant we were sitting in. I stood there with my fork halfway to my mouth, feeling a cold, familiar ache in my chest as I realized that once again, my reality was being treated as an inconvenience to her comfort. I had been terrified for weeks about the procedure, but every time I tried to bring it up, she would find a way to shift the conversation back to her own minor grievances or the weather. It was a pattern that had defined my entire childhood, but experiencing it now as an adult made me feel like I was screaming into a void. My mother, Eleanor, is a woman who views any display of emotion as a personal attack on her peace of mind. She had always been the center of her own universe, and growing up, I learned to hide my fears and my triumphs because they were always met with a sigh or a quick subject change. I had hoped that this time, given the seriousness of the medical situation, she might finally offer the kind of support I saw other mothers give their children. Seeing her now, waving her hand at a waiter while I was talking about my fear of the anesthesia, I realized that she was never going to be the person I needed her to be. Mom, did you even hear what I just said? I asked, setting my fork down on the plate with a sharp clink that made her stop her waving. She looked at me with an annoyed expression and told me that I was being too sensitive and that everyone has surgeries and it's not a big deal. She actually told me that I was ruining our nice lunch with my negativity and that I should focus on how lucky I was to have such a good doctor. I felt a surge of adrenaline that made my eyes sting, and I realized that my desire for her approval was a trap I had built for myself. I wasn't just hurt, I was done with the cycle of dismissal. I'm not being negative, I'm being honest about my life. The fact that you can't listen to me for 5 minutes without making it about yourself is the real problem here, I said. I stood up and grabbed my purse, ignoring her shocked expression as she realized I wasn't going to just apologize and sit back down like I usually did. I told her that if she couldn't offer me even a shred of empathy during a crisis, then she didn't need to be part of the recovery process. I walked out of the restaurant before she could start her usual routine of playing the victim, and the fresh air outside felt like the first real breath I had taken in years. I went through the surgery with the help of my best friend and a support group for patients in my situation, and the experience was much easier without my mother's constant dismissal hanging over me. She tried to call me a few times to complain about how I had embarrassed her at the restaurant, but I didn't answer the phone. I realized that the only person who could validate my feelings was me, and that I didn't have to keep begging for crumbs of affection from someone who was incapable of giving them. I haven't seen her in 6 months, and while it's been difficult to navigate the holidays alone, it's much better than feeling invisible in her presence. I learned that you can't change people who don't see anything wrong with their behavior, and that the best thing you can do is protect your own peace. I started going to therapy to work through the years of being dismissed, and I'm finally learning how to speak up for myself without feeling like I'm doing something wrong. My health is back to normal now, and I've built a life where my feelings are actually heard and respected by the people I choose to surround myself with. I still love my mother, but I love myself enough now to know that I deserve more than a parent who only listens when it's convenient for her.